Okay, so a little exploration. It's late morning. We had a 4-hour drive to get here. New claim that we staked, and it's in a mineralized area. And we're trying to see if we can find anything today, just general prospecting. If we find anything, we'll let you know. So stay tuned. So you can see the heavily oxidized rocks below the water surface, which means you got presence of iron. I've got 3 people with me today, so hopefully we can get some ground covered, find some new things. You can see all the iron just leaching out of the ground. Presence of iron is unreal here. So we made our way back up the creek, and we're at a old logging road. There's a nice canyon up here. We're seeing lots of oxidized rocks, lots of basalt, a little bit of gray whack, and we're seeing samples similar to this all over the place. So we hammered a couple open, and sure enough, you got mineralization. So you have chalcopyrite in there, as well as galena. So we're going to take this sample in. We're going to send this in for an analysis and see what an assay tells us. This is just preliminary prospecting we're doing, and we're not even specifically looking for any minerals. We're just getting a feel of the geology of the area and where potential areas are that we could search. Broke that sample open a bit more just to get a better look. You can see a chalcopyrite. So that's a decent sample for an assay. So we have a nice sample here. Hammered it open, and you can see you have a silvery metal, which under further examination proves to be made of silver. So you can kind of get a look there. So definitely going to be sending this in for an analysis. Alright, so the prospecting partner and the 3 other guys ditched me. And I am going to continue on this road, see if I can find anything. Finding a couple samples that look like they got native silver in it. Lots of outcrop that they're searching up there. So you got some quartz veins cutting through argolites there. Looks like they're fairly barren. So second day out prospecting this area. What we're doing right now is we're basically just following this dried up creek bed down. You have lots of interesting rocks here. You got altered iron carbonate rocks, conglomerate, volcanic tuffs. So pretty interesting. We're seeing in some of the wall rock, we're seeing quartz carbonate veinlets, such as that right there. All throughout. So we're gonna head down this creek. We got about 500 meters to look over, and then if there's time, we'll hit another creek up. Of course, it's sunny all day, and then it decides to hail on us. So we went down the creek for about 500 meters, no bedrock exposed. Found a couple mineralized samples, but nothing crazy. So we're heading back up. There's a canyon up here, so we're gonna go check that out. This is a sample we just found. You can see the silvery looking metal, which is fine-grained iron pyrite. So there's a few pieces with it. Nothing crazy, but a sample's a sample. We'll catalog this, keep going. So we got an impassable waterfall up there just because of how slippery the rocks are. Change in host rock. You can see down there you have barren quartz carbonate veins cutting through, and we have located a new showing. So all along here there's stringer veins with sulfides, as well as disseminated mineral in your host rock. So here's a first piece that we hammered off. This is pyrite and chalcopyrite, and this is a piece of your host rock here. You can see disseminated fine-grained pyrite all throughout in your host rock. So here's a typical small little stringer vein. Looks like there's hundreds along here. You can see spots of oxidization all throughout, and the fractures. Another one here. So we're going to explore this a bit and take some samples, see what comes out of here. So this is your typical host rock. Lots of fine-grained pyrite. And here's a small little vein of sulfides filling a fracture. You can see it right there. It's very small, but we haven't even touched the surface of this little showing here, so there could be quite a bit more. Alright, we're trying to get this big sample off. It's the piece we want. The biggest vein that we found of sulfides is about 1 centimeter, centimeter and a half. And this zone starts from over here and continues over to here. We've chased this up 15 meters and there's still oxidization and small stringers of sulfides. And you also have lots of mineralization in your host rock. So we got a bunch of samples here. Let's take a look. We got a sample here. Nice thick vein. Continuing all throughout. Fine-grained pyrite and chalcopyrite. We're going to send this one in for analysis. See what she says. So we'll just quickly run through some of the samples here. Disseminated mineral and contact of where the vein of sulfides was. This is the sample of your host rock. You have sulfide vein cutting through. You can see a little bit of copper staining there, so you know there's a presence of copper. Then we have more malachite staining there. Small vein cutting through here. And here we have more vein material. So this is pyrite and chalcopyrite primarily. There may be a presence of pyrrhotite in there, not sure. So a nice looking sample. We're gonna send this one in here for an analysis. We'll post those results after the video. So all around, some decent looking samples. So that's it. That's all we have time for right now. What we're gonna do is head on out. We're gonna be back at this property maybe tomorrow, and we'll post a new video if we find anything. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, have a good night.